Okay, sorry. Yeah, we will record this one and we will going to post it in all UPC social media account. And um, we're going to start. I just want to call on Char Joyce to lead our prayer and lead acknowledgement.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Arvin. So let's start with our prayer. Let us bow our heads and feel the presence of our Lord. Lord God, we come before you with grateful hearts, thanking you for this opportunity to gather online despite our busy schedules. We acknowledge your goodness and ask for your presence to guide us throughout this session. Please grant us strength, wisdom, and understanding, especially to our speakers, Miss Hannah and Miss Marilu, as they share their knowledge and experiences with us later. Bless the hosts, the attendees, and our entire community that we may all learn and grow together tonight. We ask that you fill this space with your peace and clarity, helping us to absorb the lessons shared and to use them for the greater good. May this session be fruitful, enriching, and inspiring for all. We offer this prayer in your name. Amen. Okay, and now for the land acknowledgement, we would like to acknowledge and respect the Lakwangin speaking peoples and the Songhees, Esquimalt, and Wasanich peoples whose historical relationships with the land continue to this day. Next slide also. Okay,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna hand it over to you, Arvin. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Char Joyce. Welcome everyone to the University of Victoria Philippine Community Login and Learn program, where we provide webinar sessions that are current and relevant to all of our members and non-members. For this session outline, you can see it in your screen right now. We have some introduction, speaker presentation, sharing of experiences. So we also have another speaker for this one. And we will be having open Q&A and for today, we are launching another series called Building Your Career, where we will provide insights that are helpful for your professional growth in the field you want to pursue. For the pilot episode, we will be discussing, let's talk about early childhood educator assistant in British Columbia. By the way, our Building Your Career series is not only valuable for professional development, but it is also helpful and relevant for various pathways in the British Columbia PNP programs. The certifications offered in these fields come with certain points that can help boost your score. So, to introduce our speaker for tonight, I would like to call on Lane. Lane, please.
Thank you, Arvin. All right, so hi everyone. And I'm so happy to introduce our speaker tonight for our Log and Learn series on early childhood education. Um, Let me just go to the next slide. There. So we are very fortunate to have Miss Hannah Palmehar. She was a UPC officer and she used to be the UPC vice chairperson for internal affairs. She just brings so much valuable knowledge and experience to this session. She she graduated, she completed her master in education in curriculum studies at the University of Victoria. And currently, she is an ECEA at the Camosun College Child Care Services. So, Hannah, thank you so much for doing this, for your time, and for sharing your expertise with us. And everyone, join me in giving Hannah a warm virtual welcome.
Good evening po sa lahat, and I would like to thank Arvin for inviting me. Actually, I wanted to volunteer my knowledge in this one. It's just fortunate that Arvin was the first one to message me and asked if I can speak on this topic. So I said yes because I wanted to. I am currently an ECEA. I'm not yet an ECE, but I'm working on that one, and I'm working at the Camosun College Child Care Services. I am also already a permanent resident I got our permanent residency through the childcare pathway of BCPNP last year, which was July 2024. And I would also like to share that this is the reason why I wanted to give a talk on this one so that I can also help others, especially ngayon na medyo nagkakahirapan na magka-PR. And this is a good pathway for everyone to take, especially if you like children and especially if you also like to not just take care of the children, but also educate children and help them in their daily lives. Okay, so next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so I divided my talk into three parts. So we have part one, the program requirements. Then you have the as well as qualification, the certification process, the work opportunities, the PR pathway, application and resume, how to tailor to the position, especially if you don't have any prior experience working in childcare or you are not a teacher back home in the Philippines. The second part would be sharing of experiences with an ECE, Marilu Saavedra, and the part three would be the Q&A. So my talk now, this is more like on questions and then I will answer it. Arvin was able to compile a lot of questions, so I just work on this one para mas madali. Okay? So next slide, please. So the first question is, what are the specific requirements for entering into the CEE or CEEA field? Next slide. First, kailangan mo talaga ng ECE or ECEA certification. You cannot work in this field if you do not have this certification. But then you might say, baka pwede. In a way, yes, you can, but you will only be an RA or a responsible adult. Responsible adult also, you need to have the certification. So if you want higher wage, it's better if you're going to be an ECEA, if you don't have the budget yet, to go for your ECE. So go for ECEA certification first and then go get your ECE once you have PR. Or if you have a lot of money lying around, mas mabuti if you will go directly for ECE. Then the second requirement, you need a criminal record check. Your employer will be the one to provide a link for this one so that you can apply for a criminal record check. Kasi yung criminal record check for this field, this is specific to the employer. Okay? Then the third one is the first aid certification. Yung need lang natin sa childcare is level C. And the fourth, this is also very important, character references. Bakit kailangan ng character references? Because we're working with kids. So that means to say they have to be assured, the employer have to be assured that you have the heart for the kids. That your work is not just work because you are taking care of the kids. Okay, then next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so next, paano mo ma-acquire yung certification for ECE or ECEA? We have, oh, wait. Okay, so how are you going to acquire an ECE or ECEA certification? Which will bring us to the next question. Next slide, please. First, you need to study for ECE or ECEA program. So, anong schools ang recommended for the ECEA or ECE program in Victoria? So, we are just focusing on Victoria. I'm not going to dwell with other schools outside of Victoria. And how much is the cost for this program? So, this is the first requirement when you talk of how will you acquire ECE or ECEA certification in Victoria, I mean in BC. Kailangan mo mag-enroll for ECEA or ECE program. So, anong schools ang recommended in Victoria for such program? And how much will be the cost for this program. Next slide, please. We have 3 schools sa Victoria. No, 2 schools sa Victoria. You have Spratshaw College, you have Pacific Rim. Oh, the third pala is Camosun College. So these are the 3 schools where you can get your ECE or your ECEA. Most of the people in our group sa GC namin, most of them are enrolling in Pacific Rim, and there is also one which is in the mainland in, I think it's in Surrey. It's called Coastal College. So they are also enrolling that. When you are with the ECEA certification, that's just online. So pwede lang, okay? So you don't need to physically go to the school since it is online. And then there is also the fourth one, which is the YMCA BC. They give training for ECEA. Unfortunately, kailangan PR ka. And then they only accept if you are between 18 to 25 years old. This is free for those who are PR and for those who are citizens. So if you have kids and you wanted them to go into this field, if you're already permanent resident or you are already a citizen of Canada, free ito for YMCA BC. Next slide, please. So what are the requirements to apply for the ECEA program? Next slide, please. First, transcript, diploma mo, then English test, application letter, and character references. In all the schools that I have inquired, kailangan talaga nito. So your transcript, your English test, and you will ask, ano tong English test? Do I need to take like CELPIP? Do I need to take IELTS? There are schools like Spratshaw as well as Camosun College that will require you to take the IELTS or the CELPIP. Pero meron ding school, I don't have an idea with Pacific Rim. They have their own English test. Coastal College in particular, they have their own English test. So, dun ka na lang mag-take ng English test nila. You're going to pay for that one and they are going to allow you to enroll for the ECEA program. By the way, Coastal College, they don't have the ECE. They only have the ECEA program and it's online. Then your application letter and character reference. Usually, they ask for 2 character references. Next slide, please. Next question. Can I take ECEA training while also pursuing my diploma in business administration? This has been the question for most of our new members in our GC group. I would like to say that yes, pwede ka makatake ng training the program, ECEA program, while you are also pursuing a diploma in business administration. The answer is it's because this is just 2 months, 2 months of online program. Okay? So you can take ECEA courses while you are also pursuing your DBA. Next slide. Do I need permission from UVic to take the ECA certification? No, you don't need permission from UVic to take your ECEA courses and then eventually apply for certification. Again, balik tayo dun sa 2 months online course lang ito. So there's no need for you to inform UVic or even IRCC with this one. However, if you're going to take the ECE program, that's already a different story. Kailangan mo na ng permission from IRCC. I think you need to get a study permit for this one. I don't have that much of an idea if you need to inform UVic, but I think there's no need for you to inform UVic about this one, but you need to inform IRCC because this is already, ECE program is already more than 6 months. Okay? Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Oops. I think that's Doon tayo sa slide 16. Okay, this one. Thank you. Kung ikaw isang international student and do you need to apply for a study permit to study for ECEA? We answered that already. No need because this is just a 2-month course. Then what about ECEE? Yes, you need to have a study permit for this one because it's more than 6 months. What about my OWP? See, OWP, if he is going to study for ECEA course only, program only, let us make sure that you check your permit kung anong nakalagay doon. If there is nothing on the permit that says that you are not allowed to study, then go ahead, go study. This is just a two-month course. Okay, next slide. Can I study and apply for ECEA certification if I have an open work permit? This is very tricky, especially if in your permit there is a proviso that you are not allowed to study. If there is no proviso that you are not allowed to study, then I think you are good to go. But just to be sure, make sure that you will ask an immigration consultant or an agent, someone who knows this, because I'm not an immigration consultant and I don't pretend to be. Okay? But for international students, I am very, very sure that you can study for an ECEA course. This is just a 2-month course and there's no need for you to inform UVic on this one. Okay, next slide, please. So can I take ECEA program online? We have already discussed this. Yes, ECEA program is only online. It's a 2-month course. It's a 2-month course and it's self-paced. Most colleges do the self-paced programming for ECEA program. Okay, so there are basically 3 courses, but if you are going to enroll for one course, then you will be allowed to apply for an ECEA certification. For ECE, merong ECE online program. It's with the Vancouver Island University. I checked on this one because I wanted to study there. Unfortunately, I decided not to. It's a bit expensive. So no, I did not push through with my enrollment at VIU. But they have an online ECE program. And the good thing about this program is that if you are working as an ECEA, there's no need for you to go to another center to have your practicum. They allow your practicum to be in your workplace as long as you have an agreement with your employer and you are going to inform VIU. So if you need more information in this one, I can give you the link for VIU if you are interested. They have, again, the ECE program. Spratshaw, they don't have the ECE online program, as well as with Camosun. They don't have the, oh no, Camosun already has an online ECE program, but it only pertains to those who are working in their childcare services centers. Okay? Next question, please. What is the shortest available ECE and ECEA certification program? Unahin natin tong ECEA. Again, this is just 2 months. But since this is self-paced, you can go for as long as 3 months. But since, again, kasi alam naman natin that we are on a timeline, gusto natin matapos agad para makakuha ng certification and then apply for a job, then that's better. The faster you do it, the better, so that you can apply for your certification earlier on also, and that you can also apply for a job and then start your job experience, especially if you don't have any in this field. Now, what about for the ECE? ECE, it usually runs for 7 months. Yung 7 months nila, specifically with Pacific Rim as well as in Spratshaw, this is only for permanent residents. If you are not a permanent resident or if you are not a citizen, usually you have to take their 2-year ECE program. So that's the catch. If you are not a permanent resident, you are not a citizen of Canada, their ECE program, you cannot take the 7-month program. You have to take the 2-year program. Okay, next slide, please. So what is the process to become a registered ECE or ECE assistant in BC? Meron tayong 1, 2, 3, how do you call this? Not 3 steps, but 3 ways. 3 ways on the process to become a registered ECE. Number 1, next slide, please. So you should enroll in a BC accredited ECE and ECEA program and apply for certification. If you can see on the slide, this is the link for certification application. If you are enrolling for an ECEA program, most specifically with Coastal College, I don't know, with Spratshaw as well as with Camosun and Pacific Rim, but with Coastal College in Surrey, your certification, you have already paid for this for your program. So that means to say the college will be the one to apply for you. All you have to do is to provide your character references. So when you apply for your certification, you don't need to pay for this anymore because you have already paid for that one prior to starting your program. And this is specific only to Coastal College. Okay? Next. Another one is have your foreign credentials assessed in BC ECE registry, especially if you have degrees in early childhood education or elementary education. But your diploma must not be more than 5 years from date of application. This is how I got my ECEA certification. I did not enroll for an ECEA course in any of the 3 courses. I had my foreign credentials assessed in the BC ECE registry. I don't have a degree in elementary education. I don't have a degree in early childhood education. What I had was 26 units of elementary education courses back home in the Philippines. So what I did was I had my transcript, the 26, all 26 units assessed with ICES. That's under BSIT in BCIT in British Columbia. I think I will also give you the link for this one so that it's easier for you to check. And then after they assess those courses, I had it transmitted to the BCECE. They asked me for a detailed course curriculum of all my courses. So I have to communicate again with the university that I was studying my 26 units for. And then also they asked me for, they have this document that the registrar must complete stating that I also was able to have a practicum on elementary students. The good thing was that I did my practicum among grade 1 students, and the ages of grade 1 during that time was the oldest was 7 years old, the youngest were 6. So they considered it. So that's why they gave me my ECE certification through assessment of my foreign credentials. But it was a long battle. I did it for like almost a year. I have to prove that I am worthy of the BC ECEA certification through my foreign credentials. So if you're going to go this route, this is also very good. And this is also most specifically good if you graduated with a degree in early childhood education. So you won't have a hard time having your credentials assessed. But just be sure that when you apply, your diploma, your degree must not be more than 5 years from date of application. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay, now the third way to process your ECE and ECEA certification, if you have a certification from another Canadian province, you only have to transfer that one to BC through the labor mobility program. Marami akong kilala who had their foreign credentials assessed and applied for certification for ECE in the province of Alberta. So if you have the ECE Level 1 certification in Alberta, if you're going to transfer that one to BC, they are going to give you through the labor mobility program, they are going to give you the ECEA certification. If you will have the level 2 as well as level 3, the BC ECE registry is going to give you ECE certification with 1 year. So you need to work for your 500 hours before they can give you the ECE 5-year certification. But if you are already working in, say, for example, if you are already working in another Canadian province as an ECE and then you will transfer that one, your certification to BC, that's well and good. Just make sure that you will also include their your 500 hours so that you can get the ECE level 5 certification. Okay? Um, in my application for ECE, I wanted to get the 5-year certificate. So hopefully, I will be granted the ECE certification, God willing, praying for that one, praying hard for that one. I have already messaged my former employer asking if I can have the document stating that I have already did 500 hours under working with kids working in the daycare center under the supervision of a certified ECE. So since the ECE registry has already migrated online, they already have this new process. So my supervisor said we will be very happy to do that for you. Just give my email and my name to them, and once they receive this one and I get the letter from them, the email from them, I am going to fill that out for you. So that's it. So those are the 3 ways in which you can get the certification. It's either ECEA or ECE. So let's recap. It's either one, you have to enroll in a BC accredited ECE or ECEA program and apply for certification. The second one is that if you have foreign credentials, you have degrees in early childhood education or elementary education, have your foreign credentials assessed in the BCECE registry. Now, you might also wonder, but walang Bachelor of Science in secondary education? But hindi siya pwede? I know of friends who are Bachelor of Secondary Education in the Philippines and have it assessed in the BC registry. Hindi sila nabigyan ng certification because they said that according to BC ECE registry, the courses for secondary education is far to remove on the courses of early childhood. For my case, I justified that in the Philippines, especially in my university, we don't have a specific early childhood education program. But there are discussions in my courses that specifically points to early childhood. So I made this letter and then have it signed with the registrar and then also submit it again with the BC ECE registry. So that's how I got my ECEA certification. And then the third one is have your certification from another Canadian province transferred to BC through the labor mobility program. Next slide, please. Okay, so eto na. Paano ko i-transfer yung Alberta ECE or ECE Level 1 to entry certification to BC? How long does the process take? In Alberta, they don't have ECEA, ECE 1-year certificate, and ECE 5-year certificate. That's unique to BC. In Alberta, they have ECE Level 1, Level 2, and then Level 3. So, paano ko i-transfer ito? Again, yung link that I gave in my slide, you click that one, and then there is a button that states that you need to or you want to transfer your certificate from another province through the labor mobility program. So it's very simple. It's an easy process. All you have to do is click that link and find that button. So how long does the process take? I'm not too sure of this one, but I heard the process will take like a month or two. So I think that's not too long. Kesa if you are going to pay again for fees just so you will have your ECEA certification and you need to enroll for that one. So if you have the ECE in Alberta level 1, 2 or 3, just transfer it to BC if you want to transfer your certification. I have a certification for ECE level 1 in Alberta. I also have a certification for childcare worker in Manitoba. Okay, so I have 3 certification out of my BC ECEA certification. So BC, Alberta, as well as Manitoba. I research on Prince Edward Island as well as the Yukon Territory. They are going to give you the certificate, but they will only give it to you once you are already there. So, mahirap. Okay? So, next slide, please. So here, apply for transfer of your Alberta Level 1, 2, and 3 certification under the Labor Mobility Program. So this is the link for transferring your certification from Alberta to BC. Next slide. Can I work as an ECE or ECEA if I graduate from my DBA program? What additional certifications are needed? Of course, you can. Balik muna tayo sa, okay, this one. This is the slide. So, can I work as an ECE or ECEA if I graduate from my DBA program? Yes, you certainly can, as long as you already have the certification. Okay? Again, if you have a lot of money lying around, don't settle for ECEA. Go for ECE. Kasi pag ECEA kasi, you don't have the WE or the wage enhancement. So, ECEA pays less, RA, much lower. ECE, you have the wage enhancement from the government. And that's $6. So, if you have the money, go for ECE. Don't settle for ECEA. So what additional certifications are needed? There are actually no additional certifications, but if you're going to like go for special training for Montessori or for Reggio Emilia, then yes, you can get this certification for a fee again. But at least if you're going to go into this, you are going to be specializing in a particular not curriculum, on a particular training program for meant for ECE, even for ECEA. Next slide, please. Does having no background in teaching or early childhood education affect my ability to apply for the ECE, ECEA assessment in BC? No. Hindi kailangan na dapat teacher ka sa Pilipinas, teacher ka ng childhood education sa Pilipinas, or teacher ka ng elementary sa Pilipinas, or teacher ka ng secondary education sa Pilipinas, or even higher education. No. If you want to study for ECEA or ECE, you can do so. There's no need for you to have prior teaching experience. What they require, especially if you will be working with children already, is your desire to work with the kids. And that's the most important. Your desire to work with them, your desire to nurture them, and the heart for the children. The field of ECEE, this is not exactly an easy field. There's a lot of mental stress, there's a lot of physical exhaustion, and so with emotional. Kaya patibayan talaga ng loob if you talk of working as an ECE or ECEA. You will find out once you are already in the field. If you are just doing this kasi Kasi pang PR lang, that's going to be very hard. Because once you go there, it's really mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, emotionally exhausting, especially again if you are going to be working with kids who have developmental issues. But again, going back to the question, does having no background in teaching or early childhood education affect your ability to apply for ECE or ECEA assessment in BC? No, it will not. Okay? Next slide, please. Are there ECE or ECEA opportunities in Victoria? How can I find jobs as an ECE or ECEA? Yes, maraming opportunities, especially with ECE. Marami pa rin opportunities with ECEA in Victoria. But I have to tell you now that marami din kayong kakompetensya, especially if you are just an ECEA. Pag ECE, marami pa rin. That is why I always make it a point in our GC to tell them that do not settle for Victoria. If this will be your pathway for PR, don't just look for jobs as an ECE or ECEA in Victoria. Go beyond Victoria as long as you are in BC and you find an employer who is willing to sponsor papers for you for your permanent residency application. Go for it. Don't settle for Victoria. If you can find jobs in the mainland, if you can find jobs in other neighboring towns or cities in the island, go for it. So how can I find jobs as an ECEA? Next slide, please. Magpunta tayo sa Indeed, magpunta tayo sa Work Police, mag-online search tayo ng mga daycare centers in BC, and then try to check the button on careers. And networking. This is also very important. You network. You try to befriend people who are working in this field, and they will also point out to you that this daycare, this center is hiring. If you are interested, I can check your resume for you or your application for you, or I can tell my supervisor or my manager that but this person, my friend, is applying for this job as an ECE or ECEA, and I can vouch for the character of this person. So networking, that's also important. Next slide, please. Can becoming or being an ECE or ECEA give me an opportunity to apply for express entry or BCPNP? Yes. My family and I became permanent resident of Canada through the BCPNP non-express entry through this pathway. I worked as an ECEA even while still studying, still trying to complete my Master of Education in Curriculum Studies at UVic. Some will say, why did you settle for ECEA? Mababa ang sweldo ng ECEA. But I have to sacrifice because my aim is PR. Yung aim ko for my family and for myself is PR. Not just the higher wage, but I wanted to be PR. I mean, if palakihan lang ng sweldo yung gustuhin natin and not PR, go for jobs that are not aligned with this with this pathway. Kasi if you will just work as an ECEA, you'll only get 20, 21. ECE, probably 21, 22, 23, but you have the wage enhancement. I am just lucky and blessed when I got the job at Camosun College because for me, even if I am just an ECEA, they gave me 28 per hour. But in my previous workplace, the one that gave me the papers for my application for permanent residency, I only received $20 per hour. But it's okay. I am already grateful. I do not mind having that wage, that salary wage, because that was also the this pathway that gave us the opportunity to become permanent resident of Canada. We did not apply for express entry. We applied for BCPNP non-express entry. Hindi rin ako nag-apply immediately for express entry federal because at the time of application, I was already 43 years old. So age was already a factor. So yung chance ko talaga for me and my family to become PR in Canada is through the BC PNP, and sa awa ng Diyos, my pathway for childcare worker. Kaya I endured despite the mental stress, the physical exhaustion, and also the emotional stress. I endured. I worked for my employer for 2 years. 1 year part-time while I was still a student, part-time sub. I sub all throughout their centers, going to as far as Shady Creek in Saanich, and also in Langford and in Goldstream. I only bus, but I was able to do it. So when we got our permanent residency, that was already the time that I think I need to stop and find another job or another center that will give me a less stress. But meron pa ding stress, but lesser na. Okay? Okay, next. Next slide, please. So how can I use my being an ECE or ECEA as a pathway for permanent residency in Canada? Next slide, please. So eto na. You are going to apply under skilled worker. Si BCPNP na ang magsasala if your job offer is under childcare. Kasi you are going to put your NOC there. NOC for childcare, ECE and ECEA is 42202. Once they get this one, they are going to automatically give you the ITA. So in my case, I applied, when was it I applied? July 2023. The next day, I got the ITA. So we submitted for nomination August. Then I got the nomination October, applied for federal under BCPNP non-EE November, last week of November 2023, and got our permanent residency July of 2024. So in that time frame, while still earning my degree for my Master's of Education in Curriculum Studies, while also working as an ECEA, I started being an RA. Then when I got my certification, I got the ECEA wage rate. Then started working as an ECEA. And then after that, part-time. And then when I graduated, I asked my employer, I can now work full-time. So they gave me the full-time job. So that's what I submitted for my TGWP as well as also for our PR. Okay. And another thing also, I had an opportunity before I resigned. A week before I resigned, my employer asked if I wanted to become the manager of one of their centers. I was already too tired, so I said, no, I think I need to have a break. Otherwise, I might break down. So, ayun. They allowed me, and I also told them that I also still has plans for further studies. They don't usually just let go of their employees, but they will understand if your reason is you need a break from the mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion. And they will especially be very happy if you will say that I need to go for further studies, so they will let you go. And I think also I already gave them 2 years of my service, so it's fine. Okay, so next slide, please. Eto, but you also need to consider that in order to apply for this stream, You must have a minimum of 2 years of full-time or full-time equivalent work experience in any skilled occupation. So that means to say NOC Tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. Dati 1 year lang, but now they made it into 2 years. So this is the new rule, I think, because before it was only 1 year. It does not matter if your previous work experience is not in the same field as in childcare. What matters is that you have 2 years of full-time or full-time equivalent work experience in any skilled occupation in NOC Tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. So as long as you will be able to get the required points for your BCPNP application, you can immediately apply for this one. But if not, you need to have that prior experience. Most of the time, you can satisfy this requirement, a minimum of 2 years of full-time or full-time equivalent in Tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. What you can satisfy is mababa yung points under the child care. But if you are going to start working and earning your work experience a year or so later, you will be able to get the points. So that is why I always ask the members of the GC, don't waste your time. If meron na kayong certification, you are already done with your ECEA, you already have your certification, look for a job in this field already, because that will give you ample time to get the required or the necessary points for the BCPNP. Wag na maghintay pa ng kung ano dyan. I mean, let's face it. Canada is very strict with immigration now. So time is not on our side. We must do what we can to help ourselves. Okay. So this is again one way of getting that most coveted permanent residency. But again, if your heart is not in this field, if you don't love children, you don't like educating kids, you don't like nurturing kids, this is not going to be for you. Okay. But again, balik na naman tayo. This is a good pathway for permanent residency. Okay? Next slide, please. Does teaching experience in kindergarten, elementary, or as a head teacher in basic education, or lack thereof, impact PR application points? Unahin muna natin tong people who have teaching experience in kindergarten, elementary, head teacher, and basic education. Yes, that is going to impact your PR application point. Now, my experience, my career, my profession in the Philippines is neither kindergarten, elementary, or head teacher in basic education, secondary. I was an assistant professor back home in the Philippines. But because the NOC or tier code is the same, they gave me the full points for this one under directly related work experience. But in my application for BCPNP nomination, I wrote a letter. I pointed out that I was a higher education teacher, specifically an assistant professor back home in the Philippines. But the job description, the position may not be the same, but it is still about nurturing. It is still about teaching. It's still about evaluating. So I made this letter for BCPNP and submitted it together with our application papers. So they gave me this full points under directly related work experience. Now, what about pag wala kang experience in teaching? Will this affect your PR application? Yes, you won't get points under directly related work experience. But it's okay. As long as you have points in other areas, that's already good. And if you are also going to look for a job in this field after getting your certification, you are going to also get the necessary work experience for this field. And you can use that one to impact your PR application points. So again, balikan natin yung time frame mo. You don't have a lot of time. Don't waste your time. Once you have the certification, go look for a job. Go get that experience in this field. And then you will say, ang baba kasi ng sahod. Well, then, maghanap ka ng other pathway because this will not be for you. But if you are willing to sacrifice as an ECEA na mababa ang sahod because your aim is PR, then go for it. I will cheer you on. Next slide, please. Sorry. How can I find employers who will support my PR application as an ECEA? Hindi mo talaga makuha yung employer mo if you are not going to start looking for one. Are the employers going to advertise in their job hunting that we are an employer who's going to support your PR application if you are going to apply for us? Yes, there are job descriptions that states this way. But the most basic way of finding employers who will support your PR application as an ECEA or as an ECE, once you apply and they are going to interview you, you ask them, do you support PR application for BCPNP? When I applied with my previous employer, I did not ask about this one because I also did not know yet that there was this pathway. I'd like to share with you my experience. When I applied, that was April, I started applying April 2022 because at that time I was working as a learning strategist at the University of Victoria. We are closed for the summer. So I need to find a job so I will not get bored and also I will get extra money. I need to find a job for those months that we don't have, that we are not open at UVic. We close April and then we open on September. So that's how many months of no work. So I was looking for jobs. I applied to as many jobs as I can. Nag-reply yung former employer ko. So I had my interview. I had my interview online. And then there was also another company. I'm not going to state the name, but they are focusing on immigrants. I interviewed with them. They interviewed me. They asked me for character references, everything. I wanted that job. I really, really wanted that job. I liked that job. The pay was also very good. But my former employer was the first one to call again and said that if you can start next week, we are going to put you in our roster of employees. So I said, yes, they were the first one to offer me employment. The next day, that employer that I really wanted to work with, job was good. That was the job that I want. The wage was good. Called and said that if you can submit this one, we are going to start you in 2 weeks' time. But I said, I am so sorry, but I have already said my yes to another employer. Nahihiya ako na, how do you call this one? Ayoko na yung nasabihan ko ng oo, babawiin ko na naman just because another employer offered me a better offer and the job that I really wanted. So I let go of that job. I stick with my former employer who gave me the pathway to PR, and eventually was able to get the permanent residency. The pay was not good, but I have already said yes. I don't want to get my yes because that's not me. That's not who I am. If I have already said my yes to you, I'm going to do it. So ayun. Then weeks later, I was trying to search for PR pathway because at that time I only have 1 more year of studies, and then I will be trying to find PR pathway for application for me and my family. Ayun, nakita ko dun sa BCPNP, meron pala silang PR pathway for childcare workers. So I guess that was through the grace of God that my former employer was the first one to offer me employment. Kasi if they did not offer me that employment first, I really, hindi talaga ako makapag-work sa kanila. And believe it or not, I came here, which is not advisable. I came here and I did not research for PR pathway because my aim only was I have to tick off from my bucket list, study abroad for my graduate program. So this is already like icing on the cake that God granted us our permanent residency. Okay, so again, how can you find employers who are going to support your PR application as an ECEA? You will not. But if you are going to ask your prospective employer upon interview, do you support PR application? Would you be willing to give me the documents for my BCPNP or for express entry? That's how you are going to find out. So again, ask. Dapat magtanong talaga. Next slide, please. How can I tailor my application letter and resume to apply for an ECEA position if I do not have the professional experience? This is a very good question. I had a student client when I was still a learning strategist at the University of Victoria. She messaged me and asked me if I can check the resume of her friend who is applying for the position of ECEA. So I said, why not include this question in this talk? Because this is also a very good question. Wala kang previous experience working as an ECE or ECEA. You don't have teaching experience. How are you going to tailor your application letter and your resume if you're applying for this position? That person, when I read the resume, when I read the application, sabi ko, oh, this is not going to be good. Kasi if you are going to work as an ECEA and you don't have the previous professional experience, hindi mo dapat i-highlight yung previous work mo as I work as this and that, as an administrative assistant, I work as, ano ba yun, manager of this one and that one. That is not going to jive. If you are a mom, you appeal in your application letter, writing it in such a way that you don't have an experience for this one, but I am a mother. I have taken care of my kids. I know how a kid's mind works. And I also know how to, again, take care of the kids. If you are a mom, what about if you're not a mother? Why not state there that you took care of your niece or your nephews? Or you volunteered in an organization or in your church teaching younger people. Kahit sabihin mo lang na you taught kids dancing, you taught kids singing, but you were taking care of kids. In your application letter, always zero in on the kids. You do not highlight your application applying for this position saying that you work as an administrative assistant. What's being an administrative assistant going to do with your being an ECEA? Go point out that you love kids. You don't have the experience, but you love kids. You like to expand your horizon on how kids work, what kids do, and you want to be with them. You love being with them. You like to nurture them. You are a mom, you are an aunt or an uncle, you are a dad who takes care of your kids or who help take care of your niece or your nephew. Or kung you also have experiences with volunteer teaching. So that is how you are going to tailor your application letter if you are applying for the ECE or ECEA position, but you don't have the professional experience. Okay? Next slide, please. Sorry ha, but i-plug in ko lang. I already asked Arvin about this one. So if you have insurance concern, I have a very good friend. Her name is Amelia de la Fuente. She is a licensed insurance agent. I would like to emphasize that I am also a believer of insurance. Mahirap na kasi, especially dito, na it's not easy for us to get like doctors. I have for our medical concerns through my Ivari insurance, I can get access to medical practitioners 24/7 through Ivari Maple. So ayun, kasi me and my family, all of us have asthma. I am also on maintenance for my high LDL, that's cholesterol. So it's easy for me to access virtual care 24/7 at no cost. But if you don't have this insurance, you have to pay, I think it's 160 per teleconsult. Then last one, next slide. Sorry. I just
Add ko
have
lang,
to,
Miss Hannah.
yeah.
Actually, magkakaroon tayo ng collaboration with Miss Amelia. Sila
Oh,
yung sinasabi ko about meron tayong lunch and learn. It will be on 22nd
oh,
ngayong
that's
February.
good.
And we will talk about financial literacy and express entry. So,
Oh, she's
yeah.
the one that I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes
that's
po.
good. Thank you. Okay, last slide. I'm sorry, last slide. And then we will have Miss Marilu. Okay, so again, pag may tax concerns tayo for bookkeeping of your business, we have Lorlin Mangkaw, our very own for Islander Books. So I have already booked her to do our taxes for this year. You just have to ask her. Meron silang Facebook page. You can message her. Thank you very much, Arvin. And Miss Marilu, take the floor, please.
Yes po. Miss Hannah, babalik ka pa mamaya sa Q&A, di ba?
Ay, meron pa
Okay po.
pala? Ah, yeah, we
Yes
still
po.
have Q&A after Miss
Yeah.
Marilu.
After Miss Marlo. Okay po. Introduce ko lang si Ate Marielo. Nakaka-inspire yung mga sinabi ni Miss Hana, 'di ba? Isa siya sa
Mhm.
mga successful na international student. From international student to permanent residence dito sa Canada. So, pagpahingayin po muna natin ng konti si si Miss Hana. And then, meron po tayong another speaker for tonight. Siya po ay nagtrabaho. She worked in Dubai for 12 years and now she's working as an ECE here in Canada. And ongoing na rin po yung permanent residence nila. And isa po siyang OWP. So, I'm thankful kasi binigyan niya tayo ng time para i-share yung experience niya as an ECE. Hello po, Ate Marilo Saavedra.
Hello po, good evening po. Hello.
Yes, te. You can
Good
share your
Yes.
evening,
experience.
Ate Malu.
Yeah, good evening po. Hello po. Na-inspired ako kay Hannah sa mga sharing niya ngayon. Yung akin naman, ako ay isang open work permit dito sa Dubai, ay dito sa Canada. Yung asawa ko ang student. And dumating kami dito last December 30, 2022. And then I got a job in Bayfoot community in Mackenzie as a responsible adult ako noon dahil hindi ko pa nakuha yung certificate ko. Sabi nga ni Ana, kung gusto mong proceed ka para sa PR, kailangan kang magtiyaga muna. Although kahit mababa ang sahod, kailangan natin tanggapin. So ngayon, tinanggap ko yung responsible adult. Although yung mga manager ko noon, yung mga director ko sa Brave Food Community Association, Lalo na yung may-ari, naging proud sila at nagustuhan nila ako. Nung una, yung sahod ko is only $19 per hour kasi nga RA lang ako that time. Wala pa akong certification dito. At ayun nga, sila yung nag-convince din sa akin na i-apply ko yung aking ECE dito sa Canada, sa BC. So, nung una, tinuruan nila ako kung paano gawin. Kasi I am also a Bachelor of Elementary Education sa Philippines. Board passer din. Kaso, di pala pwedeng ganun dito sa Canada. So, but I also have experience in Dubai. I am a teaching assistant sa mga edad na 3 to 5 years old for 12 years in Dubai. At umawak din ako ng infant toddler sa Dubai sa mga edad na 5 months, ang from 5 months hanggang 5 years old. So dito pala, granted ang mga yon dito sa BC. So dito sa BC, hindi ako nag-aral ng ECE. Kumbaga, sa Dubai, nag-aral ako ng CAS 3. So, yung CASP na yun, na-approve siya dito as an ECE. Nung una, sa pagtuturo ko sa Bravefoot for almost 1 year, akong nagturo doon as an RA. Kaso yung licensing dito, may pitch siya. Sabi ng licensing dito doon sa Bravefoot, sa company ko, why you keep Marilu? Marilu have no license and ECE. So, napaisip-isip yung mga director ko doon. Oo nga naman, di nakuha ni Marilu yung ECE. Nung una kasi as of December 2023, na ano ako, kumbaga, na-refuse ang ECE certificate ko. Kasi nga, yung aking background sa Pilipinas is elementary. Ang edad na start ko is 5 years old, pataas, 5 to 12. Pwede ako as an elementary assistant. That time kasi, wala pang ano yung EA, wala pa siyang pathway for PR. Kasi gusto ko kasi start sa mababa. Kahit mababa lang ang sahod, sabi nga ni Ma'am Hana, kung ang priority mo ay yung PR, kailangan mong mag-sacrifice. So, yun, tinanggap ko yun, tinapos ko yun. So, at September, kinausap ako ng may-ari ng Bravefoot. I-ask me kung gusto kong mag-aral. Sabi niya, he will support me for my ECE or ECEA. Kaso that time, proud ako sa sarili ko na makakakuha ko ng ECE certificate because of my experience. And then that time, sumulat pala sa akin yung ECE licensing dito. May mga kasi kausap na ako sa licensing sa BC dito na si Ma'am Jacqueline. Sabi niya, hindi ka pwede ng ECE or ECEA because of your experience, sabi. So I need to study talaga. But sabi dun sa paper, may pinadala silang paper sa akin. Yung una, refusal siya. But yung palang papers na yan is 4 pages siya. I want to throw the paper, but in my mind, sabi ng mind ko, no, don't throw, keep it. So, sa anong salita, noong 2024, last year, January, ayun, I lost my job in Bravefoot kasi nga, sabi ng licensing, I need to stop or else isasara nila ang Bravefoot Community Association. So, sabi ng boss ko, mag-stop na lang ako instead of isara. So, last day ko doon is January 25. But I start there January 16, 2023. So, I stopped January 25, 2024. So, at least 1 year experience ako doon as an RA. Tapos ng mga bandang February, nag-ano ako ng reconsideration form ko sa BC ECE licensing. Nag-send ako ng mga cast na pinag-aralan ko sa Dubai, yung experience ko sa Dubai. And then, after 1 week na na-receive nila yung papers ko, tumawag sa akin yung ECE BC licensing. Sabi niya sa akin, nag-email siya, nag-book siya ng appointment kung ano yung available niyang time. So, pinili ko yung Tuesday that time. Tapos nung tumawag siya sa akin, sabi niya sa akin, tinanong niya kung nagtatrabaho pa ako as an RE. Sabi ko, hindi, kasi bawal. Sabi niya, oo, alam mo naman pala bawal yan. Sabi ganun sa akin. And then sabi niya sa akin, yung qualification mo as an ECE, di ka pwedeng pakawalan ng BC. Hanggang ngayon, na ano ko pa yan, ang pangalan niya ay si Elizabeth. So sabi niya sa akin, instead na bibigyan niya ako ng 1 year certificate as an ECE, so kinwalified nila ako sa 5 year certificate. So I'm holding 5 year certificate of an ECE sa ngayon. So it will be 1 year na this February. At that time na natanggap ko yon, nakahanap ako ng trabaho as an ECE last year April. Ito ngang work ko ngayon, yung William Bray sa Langford. So, yung kasing mga ECE dito na nag-sponsor ng PR, malalayo sila. May mga ibang school na daycare na mataas ang offer sa'yo, $32, but they are not sponsoring for PR. So, itong Willowbray, so sabi nga ni Hana kanina, may $6 tayo from government. So, dito, ang inalok lang sa amin, i-provide nila lahat yung mga certificate na kailangan mo, but the salary is only 26. So, ginrap ko yung munang opportunity na yon para may start ang PR. So, God is good. Ngayon, naghihintay na lang kami ng AOR para sa PR. Thank you, yun ang experience ko dito sa Canada. Arvin?
Thank you po, Ate Marilu. Okay,
Mm.
mag-open na po tayo ng Q&A. Open Q&A segment. May I call
Mm.
on Lorlene? Miss Lorlene?
Yes po. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you,
po.
Hannah, and thank you, Marilo, for those wonderful insights. Becoming,
Welcome.
yeah. So we'll now move on to the following questions from the chat room. Can you share the slide, Arvin?
Just give me a minute.
Hi, can I plug in? Kasi wala pang slide. I'm just going to say like a few things. Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead, Lorlene.
Okay, let's start with this question. Based on the website and since only one of the three programs lang ang need to get certified as an ECEA, what if I decide to take the other two, the guidance and nutrition, after a few months, then work towards ECE? Will that be okay? Will I need a new study permit since the entire ECE program will be more than 6 months, or not anymore since I will take the courses separately instead of just doing it in one go?
Can I answer this one?
Yes, Hannah. Thank you.
Okay. So if you are an international student, because I'm not an immigration consultant, nor do I pretend to be. Okay. So if you are still an international student, the best recourse for you is to go to the International Student Center at UVic. You ask if there is a need for you to get another study permit for this one, because this is an entirely new program. But since you are still also doing probably your diploma in business administration or certificate in business administration, and at the same time you want to pursue your ECE, your best bet would be to go to the International Student Center at UVic and ask regarding this one. But if you are an OWP, as I mentioned a while ago, you need to make sure that your permit does not have any proviso stating that you are not allowed to study. Because if there is a proviso in your permit, I'm sorry, but you cannot study. Okay? Again, so that you will have a good answer to your question, that's in line with all the legalities of immigration in Canada, you better consult an immigration consultant for this one. Because I'm not an immigration consultant. I am sorry about that one. But you know what? The fact that you wanted to pursue ECE, that's already very good. And I am congratulating you on that. I am also cheering you on.
Thank you. So we'll move on to the next question. Yung character reference po ba need na related sa kids?
Okay. By the way, before I answer this question, I would also like to inform everyone here that we are slowly building our own daycare center. So if you have kids and if we're nearly at the finish line, hopefully through God's grace, if you have kids that need care, we can always give you our link and our form. I assure you that our lineup of ECE and ECEAs are all qualified and certified. And the best thing is that most of them are Filipino. So they have heart for your kids. Okay, balik tayo. Yung character reference po need na related sa kids? Yes! You're working for kids. Your character reference should also focus on kids. They usually ask for two character references if you are talking of employers' character references. One is from a friend, another one is from professionals. But if you have already experience working in this field, they usually ask two character references that are both from professionals. There are employers who will just email you, and there are also employers that will call you. I have friends who wrote me as their character reference. Some emailed, but there was one that really called me to check how my friend is with regard to working with kids. The question is focused mainly on kids. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Another question, would it be possible to share the GC for ECE? I think she meant about the Facebook GC, Han. So
Um,
if possible, would like to share
ah,
that so they can join.
okay, just a minute. Ano
I
ba?
can share po.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah, we can do
Arvin.
that later.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. Of the three programs po na pwede i-take any to get certified as an ECEA, may preferred po ba yung employers or would any be fine po?
No. Employers do not prefer any programs as long as you have certification as ECEE. But I usually tell the members of our GC, what I usually tell them is that if you don't have any experience working as an ECEA, you don't have prior experience as a teacher back home in the Philippines, either early childhood, elementary, secondary, or higher education learning, it's best if you are going to take guidance and counseling. This will really help you in your work.
Right. Okay, next slide. Next questions. Thank you. So for the next question, for the 2 year skilled work experience, does it have to be from a Canadian work experience or can it be from the Philippines?
No, it does not have to be Canadian work experience. If you're going to have the Canadian work experience that's related with childcare, that's going to give you additional points. But going back to your question, the 2 year skilled work experience does not need to be in Canada. It may be in the Philippines as long as it is within the tier 0, 1, 2, and 3 tier.
Okay, thank you. Let's say meron ng ECE or ECEA certificate and less than 6 months na lang yung work permit. Possible pa rin ba na ma-hire ng mga daycare centers?
Before I answer that question, Arvin, I already sent the photo of the GC in your um Messenger. Salamat, Arvin. Okay. So, 6 months na lang yung work permit. Possible pa rin ba na ma-hire ng daycare center? Never say never. You just have to ask your employer that if he or she, the company is willing to to like extend her because specifically this is needed by Canada, not just by BC, then do it. If
Yes,
there's a way, if there's a will, there's always a way. Diba?
true.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any more?
Meron pa
Oh,
tayo sa
meron,
sa mga
yeah,
chat.
meron pa dito sa chat. Let's see. Okay, meron na po bang successfully naka-PR na walang childhood education background?
No, sweetheart. You cannot
Mm.
apply for this pathway if you don't have the certification. With your certification, that also brings with you your background.
Yeah, your
But
work
if you
experience.
are if you are asking, if what you're asking is you are working as an ECE or ECEA and you don't have prior experience, ma-PR ka ba? Yes. I have a friend who was an accountant back in Korea. She came here to study for ECE. She became an ECE. She has no background except for the studies that she took in Ontario. She applied for PR under this pathway. She's already a PR. Another Chinese friend from my former employment, no background, but she has the ECE. She has the ECE certification. She worked together with me. She's also a PR now.
Okay, thank you. Another question here. What are some of the toughest challenges you've encountered at work as an ECEA? And then I think it's also related with the next question. What is the hardest part of your job? Could you please differentiate kids here and kids in the Philippines when it comes to their behavior? I think mag
I
1 hour ata si Hana dito pag ganito.
I think also maka-answer din si Ate Marilyn.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I will answer first. So what are your toughest
Yeah.
challenges you've encountered as you work as an ECA and the hardest part of your job? You work with kids. Kids, kahit saan, will always be tough. But
Mm.
kids here are a lot tougher than the kids in the Philippines. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of gentle parenting. Most of the parents here, they adhere to gentle parenting. Most, if not all. And sometimes kids, being kids, and also because of their home background, they don't take lightly to saying no. The hardest kids are usually the kids coming from dysfunctional family. They are the hardest kids, but they are also the kids that need your care and affection. So it's really tough balancing this work. The reason why, one of the reasons why I resigned from my former employer was that nahihirapan ako. I was already mentally drained sa mga bata, sa coworkers. Because at that time, we have a lot of kids with special needs. And the hard part for me was that itong mga kids na to, I don't know with my other coworkers, but these kids usually gravitate to me. Kahit in kahit at Kamosan, we also have we also have kids with developmental issues. They usually try to find me. Maybe because I also have a son with ASD, that's why I have I have the empathy and the heart for them. But then if you are an empath, sometimes also ikaw yung nahahansa ka ng lahat ng emotions ng mga bata. So that's the hardest part of my job. You don't know how to say no to the kids, but they have problems, especially again those coming from dysfunctional families, but they are also the kids that need your care and nurture most. Kaya that is why I said if you're just here simply for PR, but you don't have the heart for the kids, this is going to be a very tough journey for you and you're not going to last. Ate Marilu, ikaw.
Yes po, oo. Oo, tama yung sinabi ni Ana. Mahirap din yung mga bata dito, especially yung mga edad na 3 to 5, yung mga nasa preschool. Pag sinabi nilang ayokong matulog, di sila matutulog. Pag sinabi nilang magbabasa kami ng libro, kahit sabihin mo sa kanilang nap time, hindi pwede. At mahirap din dito yung mag-ano ka, yung saktan mo yung bata or sabihan mo ng ibang words. Mahirap dito yon. Kung wala kang patient as a teacher sa mga batang 3 to 5 years old, isipin mo muna ang ano, kung gusto mo talagang ECE or ECEA. As an ECEA, yung role mo, hindi ka lang assistant. Kailangan mo rin gumawa ng lesson plan na kagaya ng ECE. Kung ano ang trabaho ng ECE, trabaho din ng ECEA. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, ay, mataas ang sahod mo, ECE ka, dapat ikaw lahat. No. Dito sa field na to, kailangan pantay-pantay tayo. At saka dito sa mga bata, hindi na kahiwalay ang mga special kids dito. At dito rin, hindi rin tanggap ng mga parents na ang anak nila ay special. Tama ba ako, Teacher Ana?
Depends on the parent.
Oo, dito
Mga
sa akin
parents is willing to listen.
dito sa akin, yung iba, hindi nila tanggap. May isa akong bata ngayon. Lagi, pag pinatulog mo, sasabihin niya sa'yo, I don't want to sleep. And then, pagka nakahiga na, tatawa siya. Kung hindi siya tatawa, iiyak siya. Kung hindi, mag-aano siya ng iba't ibang sound na parang nakakatakot. So, yung mga bata, sasabihin nila, Teacher, malo, I'm scared. Sasabihin ko, kay matakot, andito ako. Pag ito namang isa, pagbawalan mo, iyak na lang siya bigla. So, yung hindi mo mabalance yung sarili mo sa iba at sa kanya. So, ang hirap ng ganung sitwasyon. Pero, kailangan mo rin siyang intindihin kasi part siya ng program. So, kailangan mo rin siyang bigyan ng attention kasi kasama din siya sa mga batang nag-aaral sa mga edad na 3 to 5. So, ang magandang nasa level ako kasi ngayon ng infant toddler, yung mga batang nasa edad na 1.5 to 2 to 3 years old. Yun ang mga edad ko ngayon. Itong mga batang ito, dahil sa mura nilang edad, kaya mo pa silang sundan mo na sa ano mo, yung mag-develop ka sa kanila ng good behavior, makikinig pa sila sa'yo. Yung edad na 3 to 5, medyo, may mga batang makukuha ka ng attention kung gagawa ka, kung magbibigay ka sa kanila, kung paano ang pag-care mo sa kanila, paano mo sila tutulungan sa kanilang development. Yun, may iba pang bata na susunod sa'yo, but most of them, di ba, Hana?
Yes.
Yeah. Sa pagtuturo as an ECE or ECEA, kailangan buo ang loob mo. Hindi lang PR ang kailangan mo dito. Kasi pag nakita din ng director mo or ng manager mo na hindi ka buo, sayang din. Hindi ka din nila itutuloy ang PR mo. Kasi nung ako natanggap ako dito, Miss Ana, dito sa Willow Bray, nag-ask muna ako sa interview ko. Hindi ko ito naanap eh. Sabi ko, are you willing to sponsor for PR? Sabi ng director ko, 3 months probation. What if 1 month probation only, sir? Let's see, sabi niya, kung paano pag-handle mo sa pagtuturo. I will observe you every time, sabi niya. And that time na nag-start ako, April 15, noong June, tinawag niya ako sa hapon. Sabi niya, magto 2 months ka na dito, Malu. Sabi niya, yes sir. Sabi niya, tapusin na natin provision mo. Apply ka na ng PR. Pag kasi maganda yung pinakita mo sa bata, and then, kasi may camera kami dito, Teacher Ana, yung nakikita ng parents kung anong ginagawa mo. Yun pa rin kasi mahirap eh. Kasi nakikita ng parents kung anong ginagawa mo sa mga bata. May mga mata na nakatingin sa'yo lagi. Kahit nasan yung parents, pagka may nagpi-picture pa sa'yo kung gusto nila yung ginagawa mo. So, minsan nagsasabi sila sa director na, "Ay, yung si ano, si Malu yun, yung Malu mo yun, alam namin, nakikita namin yung mga ginagawa." So, sila yung nagbibigay ng background para maano mo, ma-prove nila na karapat-dapat ka as an ECE or ECEA. 'Di ba, Ana?
We don't have cameras sa Kamosan.
Dito sa amin sa Willowbrae, may camera kami. Nakikita
And
nila dito kung natutulog ka, especially sa mga preschool. Wala silang igahan na nakatago yung mga bata pag natutulog. So nakikita nila lahat ng galaw mo. Dito sa trabaho dito, lahat nakikita nila. Although nakamute, di nila naririnig kung ano yung mga sinasabi mo sa bata. Pero nakikita nila yung action na ginagawa mo sa bata, sa pagtuturo, especially pag time ng circle time, doon sila nagpo-focus. Circle time, creative art, at sa pagkain ng mga bata, doon sila nagpo-focus yung mga parents. Kaya yun ang nagbibigay sila ng feedback sa director namin na si ganito, ah, ganito siya sa bata. So, si ganito, ganito siyang mag-ano sa bata, yung care niya sa mga bata. Yun ang nagiging impact ng director para mapili ka niya, para maano ka, ma-promote ka as a, bibigyan ka niya ng kagad na PR.
Thank you po.
meron pa pala dito yung could
Meron
you
na
please...
tayong last two question,
Oh, okay.
Lorlene.
Okay, last two question. Clarify ko lang po ang part-time ito ba?
Yes.
As childcare or out-of-school care person counted as experience for PR?
Okay, if you are an international student while doing your work, part-time childcare, out-of-school care person, that's not going to be counted. But
Yes, hindi
if
po.
you are already on open work permit for your PGWP, and even if it's just part-time, that's already counted as experience for PR.
Follow-up
Yes.
question for this one, Han. Is it under the same tier with the ECEA?
Yes, if you
Yes.
want to have additional points for this.
Mm.
But if kung gusto mo lang sa under the 2 years na under any tier, yeah, but if you're going to go for directly related work experience, this will be counted even if part-time. But make sure that you are not an international student anymore. Kasi hindi talaga yan mag-count.
Okay, thank
Yung
you.
dapat full-time siya.
So last question here. I just arrived last January 31. We applied for BCID but declined due to work permit, which is less than 6 months. I have already received my ECEA certificate, Alberta today. Need po ba ng BCID sa pag-apply digitally through ECE registry? And if yes, since wala pa po akong BCID, any other possible way to push through my ECE Alberta to be transferred to BC? Thank you so much po.
No need. There's no need for any ID. If you're going to transfer your Alberta certificate to BC. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so
Thank
much, Hannah
Okay,
you.
and Marilu.
Thank
just
you.
1 minute. Okay, on behalf of UPC family, we would like to thank Miss Hannah Palmihar and Miss Marilu Saavedra for giving their
Thank
time to share
you.
their expertise and experience on this topic. It is really inspiring again. They are part of successful international students and open work permit turned to permanent resident here in Canada. So what is next on UPC? We would like to invite everyone on our next Login and Learn sessions featuring tax session and how to become a registered engineer here in British Columbia. We also have a post Valentine event open for everyone featuring Filipino Squid Game. So sino po ang mga nanonood ng Squid Game dyan? Magkaroon po tayo ng Filipino version. Sa Vertigo po ito on February 22nd. And ito po yung another lunch and learn session with Miss Amelia. It will be financial literacy and express entry. So, sa express entry po, i-discuss natin kung paano kayo mag-a-apply na permanent residency na related din po dito sa topic natin tonight. So, pwede kayong mag-apply sa BCPNP and then ipapasok nyo sa express entry. So, isa po yun sa ano natin. And yun na po. Maraming salamat po sa lahat. And kita-kits po sa next Log In and Learn. Bye-bye!
Thought mag-group picture taken
Oh,
tayo.
sorry. Mag-group picture pala. Nakalimutan ko. Open na po tayo ng camera for...
Nakalimutan mo, Arvin.
Oh, sorry. Open na po tayo ng camera bago tayo mag-end. Para makita yung mga maganda at gwapo nating mga attendees. Sino ang... Hey, smile. Next page. Madaming page po eh. Smile. Okay po. Maraming salamat po ulit. And good night, everyone. See you on next
Thank
Log
you,
In and Learn.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everyone.
Night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you. Bye, Te.
Download is My Mitsubishi Connect. So it's a free app.